So the agenda for this class is install Java and SSH on your Ubuntu. Open Apache Hadoop website, click on stable directory, download Hadoop tar.gz file, untar the Hadoop tar.gz file, directory structure of Hadoop, what is SSH, that is secure shell, how to configure passwordless SSH, configuration files in Hadoop. The next is modify configuration files, formatting your name node, then start the services of Hadoop, check Hadoop services, and the last but not the least is stop the services of Hadoop. So we are having very lengthy agenda. So that's why we will be taking two classes for Hadoop installation. You can say that the first half of this agenda we will be covering today, and the second half of this agenda we will be covering in tomorrow's class. So now we will be covering these things in more detail one by one. So let us start with the first one, that is install Java and SSH on your Ubuntu. So in demo class we talked about that along with Ubuntu we need Java as well. We need Java installed on our system. We don't need any Java knowledge. So as Hadoop is built, Hadoop is written in Java. So if Java is installed on your Ubuntu, it can very easily run. So now in Ubuntu, we can install Java and other basic softwares with the help of commands only. So these are the commands. Run the below commands in terminal to install Java. So let me open the terminal and show you how to do all these things. So let me show you. First of all, as you can see that terminal is displayed on the left panel, but in your case it might not be displayed. The reason being is, first time terminal will not be available on the left panel. What you have to do is, you can click on the dash home and start typing terminal like this one. Terminal will appear. You can click on that and your terminal will be opening like this one. Once the terminal has opened, you can right click on this one, right click and click on lock to launcher, so that every time you don't have to search it from dash home. Once you will lock it, after that it will be always available on the left panel, so that you can directly click on that and you can directly launch it from the left panel. Anyways, this way you can start your terminal. So we should be having the basic knowledge of Linux commands. Basic knowledge means how to create a directory, how to delete a directory, how to change directory, only these things. Let me show you some basic commands before we proceed. We have a command with the name pwd. Pwd means present working directory. Because when we are opening the terminal, we are inside some directory. And suppose I don't know in which directory I am in. So to find out that, you can type pwd in the terminal, you can press enter. /home/nearest. Slash means starting from the beginning, starting from the root. So starting from root, then inside that there is a directory with the name home. Inside that there is a directory with my username, that is nearest. So currently I am in /home/nearest. There are some other commands like who am I without any space. There is no space between who and am, and there is no space between m and I. If you will type who am I and if you will press enter, it will be displaying your username. If you will type date, it will display the date and the time. You can have a look like this. Monday, October 14, then the time IST 2013, like this. So there are different commands. If you want to clear the screen, we have the simple command clear. enter. The screen has been cleared. Basically, every command name itself is meaningful. Date is dealing, the date is showing you the date. Clear is clearing the screen. Who am I is telling you who you are. And there are so many other commands. So if you know the basic commands, we can move ahead with, you can say, Hadoop installation. And whatever commands are required for Hadoop installation, those I will be covering in more detail throughout the class. So just like we executed these commands, similarly, you can execute these commands which are required for installing Java on your system. Let me come back to the PDF, this one. So these three commands are required for installing Java on your system. The first command is sudo space add -apt -repository ppa:/web update team/java. Once you will type this one in your terminal, or what you can do, you can directly copy it from the PDF, paste into your terminal. Once you will press enter, it will be asking for the password. That password is the same whatever you have set up while installing Ubuntu. When you are starting your Ubuntu, there is your username and your login password. The same password you can enter. So once you will enter the password in terminal, it will neither display your password nor display the stars. So don't think that it is not taking the password. It is still taking. Simply type the password and press enter. Similarly, once that command has been executed, you can execute the second command, sudo apt-get update, and then the third one. Basically, once the third command will start executing, it will be downloading the required thing from internet and will be installing on your system. So basically, when you are executing these commands, make sure that internet is running inside your Ubuntu. Otherwise, your Java will not be downloaded, and without downloading, it will not be installed. So I have mentioned it separately. Make sure that your Ubuntu is connected to internet during execution of these commands. So it will hardly take 5 to 10 minutes, and within 5-10 minutes, Java will be properly installed on your Ubuntu. The second thing which we need to install is run the below command in terminal to install SSH. What SSH is, that we will be talking about in more detail in the coming slides. But as of now, you can understand that for installing Hadoop, we need SSH as well. And that also can be installed with the help of a command. And the command is sudo apt-get install OpenSSH server OpenSSH client. This command you can execute in your terminal. It will download the required thing from internet, and it will be installing it on your Ubuntu. So installation of Java and installation of SSH is prerequisite for Hadoop installation, and this is hardly 15 minutes one-time activity. So this is all about installing Java and SSH on your Ubuntu. Okay, so the next slide we have is Open Apache Hadoop website. As discussed in the demo class, that this is an open source software that you can directly download from Apache website. And for your convenience, I have provided you the link along with the screenshot, so that you don't have to search it on the Google, and Google is displaying so many results and you are confused like from which website shall we download. So you don't need to get confused. I have provided you the correct link. This is the link which is displayed on the over the screenshot. This one. You can copy it and paste in your browser. Once you will paste this link in the browser, this type of window will be opening. One thing which you need to take care is, you can have a look. We suggest the following mirror site for your download. Apache is having different servers across the globe. So depending upon your geographical location, they might be suggesting some different mirror site. I just mean to say that don't try to compare with whatever is displayed on the screenshot, because whatever is displayed on the screenshot, that may be suggested for me as per my geographical location. As per your geographical location, they may be suggesting some different near site. So you don't need to look at what they are suggesting. Simply click on that link, whatever they are suggesting. So once you will click on this link, you will be landing to the next page. This is displaying the different version of Hadoop. As this is an emerging technology, you will be getting different versions: alpha release, beta release, Hadoop 1.2.1 release. But as we are trying to learn something, we don't want to face an issue. So it's always better to download the stable version, the version which is running fine, which is tested and verified, and that is stable. So on this page, you will find a stable directory, and for your convenience, making it simpler, I have highlighted that. So you can simply click on stable like this. You will be landing to the next page like this one. This page contains so many different type of files. The first file is Hadoop 1.2.1-1.i386.rpm. Next is MDS. Then next is 64.rpm. There are different type of files, but what exactly we are looking for is tar.gz file. What is tar.gz? This is one type of compression format. Just like we have .zip file, we have .rar file. Similarly, tar.gz is a compression format. So what Apache has done is, Apache has put all the required things into a single file by compressing it. So now once you will click on this link, it will be asking you whether you want to directly open the tar file or you may be interested to download the tar file. So let us click on this. Once you will click on this, one more window will appear. You can have a look. This window will be asking you either you want to open with Archive Manager or you want to save file. So we will be saving the file because this tar file may be required for you can say for some future use. We don't want to do it every time from internet. So it's always better to download it on some location on your system. So you can click on save file. By default, the above option, open with, will be selected. You have to select the lower option, that is save file. Then click on OK, and it will be downloaded inside the downloads folder on your Ubuntu. Let me show you. If you will click on this folder one, this one, the second ring, home folder, you will find a downloads folder as well. By default created. You don't have to create that. This is automatically created by your Ubuntu. You can click on download, and inside download you will find all your files which you have downloaded from internet. So whatever Hadoop tar file we just downloaded, that would be available inside the downloads folder. So depending upon your internet speed, it might take some time to download it, might be 5 to 10 minutes. Once this has been successfully downloaded, now it's time to extract the content of tar file, because as explained earlier, this is compressed file. We need to extract the content of this tar file. So this is the way which we will be using for extracting the content. So first of all, double click on your tar file. You can have a look on this Hadoop-1.2.1.tar.gz. First step, we will double click on that. After double clicking on that, another window will appear which will display the content of this tar file. So basically, in this tar file there is a directory with the name Hadoop-1.2.1. So whatever are the content, we want to extract them. You can click on this folder, simply the simple click, we are selecting that. This is the second step. Now the third step is extract. Whatever thing we have selected, that we want to extract. So you can click on extract. After clicking on extract, one more window will appear which is asking you where exactly you want to extract it, because you may be interested to extract it on the desktop, on your home directory, or in some specific directory. So wherever you want to extract it, in this example I have selected desktop, the fourth step. I have selected desktop, and the last and the fifth step is click on extract. So basically, following these steps, you can very easily extract the content of tar file in the specified location. Let me show you where exactly I have extracted this. So in my system, I have created a separate directory for storing all the Hadoop related stuff. Let me show you. This is local cluster home, because we will be setting up the local cluster, because we will be installing Hadoop on our local machine. So I have given this name to my directory. This is not required. If you want to give some other name, or if you want to put it directly on the desktop, you can do. But we will be installing Hadoop, then we will be installing HBase, then we will be installing Hive. So just for making it, you can say, separate, I have created a directory in my home directory with the name local underscore cluster underscore home. Let me show you. Inside this, you will find my different things. I have my Hadoop, I have my HBase, I have my Hive, and I have my Pig, so many things. But as of now, you don't have to worry about all these things. We will be covering these things in 1 month training. You can simply have a look at this Hadoop 1.2.1. This folder I have extracted inside this directory. So this is all about how to extract the content of tar file. So coming back to the PDF now. The next we have is directory structure of Hadoop. So whatever folder we have downloaded from internet, that contains so many directories. Let me show you. I will go inside this one, and you will find this different directories. We have bin, we have C++, we have const directory, we have contrib directory, we have docs, sbean, logs. There are so many things. But basically, we are not concerned about all the directories. The basic important directories we will be talking about, with which we will be working. So let us talk about the different important directories. Okay. The first is bin. As the name indicates, bin stands for binaries. You can say executables. So this directory contains the scripts to start and stop Hadoop. First of all, Hadoop has no UI. No UI means there is no button, like you can click on start and Hadoop will be started, and you can click on stop and Hadoop will be stopped. It's not like that. Everything in Hadoop, whether you are installing, whether you are stopping, whether you are starting, you are copying the data, you are deleting the data, or you are executing any Hadoop job. For each and everything, we have to execute different commands. So this bin directory contains different scripts which will be used for starting and stopping the Hadoop on your system. Second is conf. As the name indicates, conf stands for configuration files. So Hadoop installation is not that much simple as we install any software on Windows. As I was explaining earlier, that installing a software on Windows is straightforward. You can download the exe file from internet. You can double click on that. You can click on next. You can select some things and lastly click on finish. This way, very easily you can install the software on Windows. But installation of Hadoop is not that much simple. We have different configuration file available in the conf directory, and that we have to configure. I mean, we have to make the required changes in the configuration file. So this is the most important task. When we are saying we are installing Hadoop, basically we are making the required changes in configuration files. So this is about the conf directory. what are the files which we need to edit, and what are the required changes which we have to make. Those things we will be covering in more detail in tomorrow's class. The next is lib, that stands for libraries. When you are installing, downloading Hadoop, there are different jar files also downloaded along with the Hadoop, because those jar files are required for running Hadoop. Let me show you the lib directory, and I will show you the content of lib directory. This is my lib directory. Yes, you can see different jars. ASM 3.2 jar, aspect JRT 1.6.11 jar. There are different common CLI, common codec, common configuration, common IO, common logging. There are so many jars. So these jars will be automatically used by Hadoop when Hadoop will be running. So lib directory basically contains jar, or you can say libraries, which are required for execution of Hadoop. The next we have is SRC, that stands for source code. First of all, you never need to go into SRC directory, because that contains the source code and that has been already written by Apache team. You can directly start the Hadoop, but there may be some guy who is from Java background and who is interested to have a look at the Java code, what exactly the Apache team has written. In that scenario, if you want, you can go to the source directory. Otherwise, we never need to go into the source directory. And the last but not the least is logs. Whatever activity we are doing, those activity are being captured in the log files, and log files are quite useful at times. Suppose you are starting your Hadoop and unfortunately your Hadoop is not getting started. What you will do now? You don't know what exactly is the issue. So what you will do is you will be going to the logs directory. Inside that you will find log files. You can open the log file and try searching for some exception, some error message. That will give you some idea what exactly may be the issue. So it may be possible that inside log files it is written that unable to find Java on your system. It simply means that without installing Java on our Ubuntu, we are trying to start our Hadoop. That is not possible. So in case something is not going into the right direction, log files will be helpful for us. It will give us the idea, and using that we can easily rectify that, and then again we can try starting our Hadoop again. So this way log files are quite useful. So this is all about the directory structure of Hadoop. So we are moving to the next slide now. The next is configuration files of Hadoop. As I explained you that we have to make the required changes in the configuration file of Hadoop. That is the major part of Hadoop installation. So Hadoop configuration is driven by two types of configuration files. One is read-only default configuration. First of all, that contains the default setting. And second thing is that is read-only. It means that in case you want to change the default setting, you cannot change in these files. Let me remind you that in demo class we talked about that the default replication factor is 3. It means that Hadoop keeps 3 duplicate copy of your data by default. But if you want, you can change that value. If you want to make it 1, we can do that. If you want the number of duplicate copy as 5, we can do that as well. So default file contains default settings, and these are read-only files, so you can't change them. So how do we change something if we want to do that? So if you want to make some changes, for that purpose we have separate set of files which are basically available in the conf directory. Inside conf you will find core-site.xml, that is corresponding to the file core default.xml that is available in the source inside core. So for every default file we have a corresponding site file. Whatever changes you want to make, those you can do it inside the site file, not in the default file. So let me show you one default file where exactly this is located. So we can go to source directory. Let me go over there. I will go to source src, this one. Inside that I will go to core, this one. You can have a look, core default.xml file. This is my default file. If you want to have a look, I can open this for you. This will contain so many properties file. This is an XML format file. Yes, you can see this. There are different type of things. Like this one. So basically we are not required to have a look at each and every property, because this is default setting which will be used by Hadoop to start your Hadoop and to execute your Hadoop processes. Now if something which you want to change, we can do it in some site file. Let me show you the file corresponding to this one. This is core default.xml file. Let me show you core site.xml file, but that will be available in the conf directory. We'll be going to conf, and here you can have a look, core site, this one. This is core site.xml file which we need to edit. So basically for every default file we have a site file in which we can edit. So we have core default.xml file, we have hdfs default.xml file, and we have mapred default.xml file. And corresponding to these three files, we have core site.xml file, hdfs site.xml file, and mapred site.xml file, which are available in the conf directory. So this is all about configuration files of Hadoop. So we are moving now to the next slide. So the next we have is SSH. On the very first slide today, we installed Java as well as SSH. And on that slide, I told you that we will be exploring in more detail what SSH is all about. So let us have a look. SSH is a tool, or you can say it is a utility that is used to remotely connect to some other machine. You know that Hadoop is a master-slave architecture. Master needs to communicate with slaves for giving the instruction, because master gives instruction to slave machine and slave follow those instructions. So name node, that is our master process, it needs SSH for communicating with data nodes. Similarly, our another master process, that is job tracker, needs SSH for communicating with task tracker. Basically, all the master process are communicating with the slave processes with the help of SSH, and that is absolutely required. Without SSH you cannot install Hadoop. So that we have already installed. Now the question is, you may be thinking that we are installing Hadoop on our single machine. So do we need that? Yes, we need that as well. Because whether your processes are running on different machines or those processes are running on same machine, they still need to communicate with each other. So even if you are installing Hadoop on a single machine, you need SSH on your system. And how to use that? You can open the terminal and type SSH space IP of some machine where exactly you want to connect. Let me show you. Let me open my terminal that I think is already open. Yes, it's already open. Now suppose I want to connect to some other machine. I will type SSH space IP of some other machine. But right now, you know that I'm having my only machine. I don't have any other machine on the network. But that is not an issue. Every machine has its local IP as well. And whether you are connecting to your own machine or connecting to some other machine, logically there is no difference. So I can type 127.0.0.1. 127.0.0.1 is the local IP of every machine. You can also try this thing on your system. SSH local IP means that I am trying to connect from my machine to my machine itself. But not an issue. I can press enter. Yes, you can have a look. Welcome to Ubuntu 12.05.2 and last login Thursday, September 19th. Whatever is the time when I was connected to my own machine last time, it was 19th of September. Anyways, we are connected to our own machine from our own machine. Now, if you want to disconnect from here, you can type exit. Yes, connection to 127.0.0.1 is closed. One more thing is there. You may be thinking that remembering this IP 127.0.0.1 is a difficult thing. Don't we have some other option? Yes, we can type SSH space localhost. Localhost and this IP both are the same thing. So you can try this thing as well. You can press enter. Yes, last login October 14 because just 1 minute ago I connected to my system. Anyways, to connect to your own system, either you can try SSH localhost or you can also try SSH the IP. So this way we can connect to our own machine. So let me exit from here like this one, connection to localhost closed. So this is all about basic thing about SSH. Coming back to the PDF now. So run the following command on your terminal. You can open the terminal, type SSH space localhost. Once you will type SSH space localhost, it will be asking for your password. And whatever is the login password, you can type here. You can press enter and your terminal will be connected to your own system. Now one question may be coming in your mind that if it should ask for the password, why it didn't ask for the password for me when I did SSH localhost right away? Yes, it has not asked for the password for me because I have done some settings. And what setting we have done and why that setting is required, that we will be covering in tomorrow's class. So with this slide, we are done for the day. You can try these things on your system. You can see you can download the tar file, you can extract that, you can install Java and SSH, and you can try doing SSH localhost. The remaining things we will be covering in tomorrow's class. So that's all for today.